Hello everyone and welcome to the second tutorial for the Geo Mana Academy. These tutorials explain how to play Legend of Mana, and today we are going to do the Lost Princess many different ways. The Lost Princess is one of the first quests you can get in Legend of Mana, along with Nicolo's Business Unusual. I highly recommend holding off on doing Lost Princess, but since so many people discover this quest first, they usually do it first. The reason I recommend holding off is because Elazul, the character that you can use in Lost Princess, has extra dialogue if you take him along in the Flame of Hope quest and in the Drowned Dreams quest. Also, Elazul has extra dialogue if you take him into the underworld after Flame of Hope and talk to Rubens down there. Today we're going to be completing Lost Princess many different ways with many different characters, and we're going to see how completing it later in the game changes the way that you do the quests, and you might even be able to skip the quest altogether, which is pretty cool. Today I also wanted to go over the battle system, and we're going to go over the plunge attacks, we're going to go over the regular attacks, and we're also going to go over ST attacks. And so without further ado, let's pick up Elazul here. He's going to be in the bar. And there's a few dialogue options. The easiest way to obtain Elazul is just to say the second dialogue option each time. But first let's talk to Rachel. And she doesn't really have much to say. We're just going to talk to Elazul then. So the easiest way to obtain Elazul and the Jade Egg actually is just to choose the second option. Silence, don't interrupt me. Speak up. So now we see that he's kind of getting mad at Rachel. Don't make me angry. In the first video, we saw that he had a conversation with Nicolo, a conversation with Duelle, and a conversation with Tipo, and he got all of them mad. What are you hiding? And now that she shakes, we have the option to stop him or to ask what happened. So let's ask what happened. A friend is missing. If we ask about the friend, she wears a white dress and has long hair. She's like a sister to me. I'm worried. And then if we search for her, together with me, but you mustn't. No, I would be grateful. What? Here. And here is the first thing that Rachel actually says, and she hands him the Jade Egg. So under artifacts, we have the Jade Egg. Again, the Jade Egg is given to you by Rachel. You have to have Elazul in your party. You can get Elazul in Amanda and Barrett's bar or upon leaving the marketplace in Domina. This is the encyclopedia entry for the Jade Egg, and it says, by taking a stone formed through the ages inside the earth and shaping it into the source of all things, the earth's creative power was captured inside. Wow, it's pretty crazy. So, what's this? So, whenever a Jumi, Elazul is a Jumi, is close to another Jumi, their cores sort of light up. Whenever they think about the other Jumi, their cores light up. So check this out. It smells like pearl. Let's hurry. And so two things occurred just there through that conversation. First is we have Elazul as an NPC, and you can see his name is here in the menu. We got him at level 2. You can get him at a higher level later in the game. These are his stats. His synchro effects is attack gauge plus, which means that your meter that fills up to do an ST gets filled faster. If we go into the other, we can go from here into his abilities, STs, and magic. We can see he has bash and tackle for abilities, and then his special techniques, Eye Strike, Bird of Prey, Cross Strike, and Laser Blade. Most characters that you can get in this game will have a special fourth technique. The fourth technique he has is on the bottom. You see it says Elazul's special technique, Laser Blade. The other ones that he has, you can get them too. These are for the swords. Let's go into his equipment. We see that he has an obsidian one-handed sword. He also has the blackened mail, the sand mantle, which the Reverend had mentioned. The Reverend Nouveau had mentioned he was the man in the sand mantle. It didn't seem like Reverend Nouveau knew his name before. And Elazul's core, which is lapis lazuli ring. Hopefully when the tempering opens up, I'll be able to make replicas of all of the NPCs' armor. And obviously I'll make them stronger because these defensive values aren't really high. But I would like to make an Elazul's core or sand mantle or something like that for my character. Let's go back to that conversation and see what happens when you choose the other options. So in this time we're going to choose 2, the second option, then the first option. Silence, don't interrupt me. Speak up. Don't make me angry. What are you hiding? So what happened? Friend is missing. Ask about the friend. She wears a white dress and has long hair. She's like a sister to me. I'm worried. And then we're gonna offer compassion instead of saying search for her. Yeah. Rachel doesn't say anything at this point. Do you have any idea? Are you sure you don't know where she is? Rachel says nothing. Damn it! I've wasted my time. And then Elazul sort of storms off here. So that's what happens when you offer compassion at the end instead of saying let's go search for her. Now we're going to do it again, but we're going to do it where we choose the second option and then the first option and the first option again. Second option, a friend is missing. We've seen that before. Now we're going to protect Rachel. I sense her scent. She was here. You must know. Rachel's getting really scared. Don't you have any idea? Are you sure you don't know where she is? They don't even let you choose a third option there. I've wasted my time. And then Elazul storms off. Let's see what Rachel says. Rachel doesn't say anything. So now we're going to do it again, but we're going to choose the first option each time. I think this is the most interesting. What are you hiding? So we're going to stop him because he's being mean to Rachel. Leave us alone. We're going to stick up for her. This is none of your business. Could you just go away? I'm going to say that me and Rachel are friends in this case. Friends, you say? I don't believe you. Don't you have any idea? Are you sure you don't know where she is? Damn it. I've wasted my time. So this is very similar to the last one, but something interesting here happens at the end because we stood up for Rachel from the beginning. She actually says thank you. And I think that was the more noble way to do this. That first scene when you first talk to Rachel and Elazul will get you this Rachel entry in the encyclopedia. It says, the daughter of Mark and Jennifer. She hardly talks and does not become too friendly with anyone. She is sick of her pharaoh-like appearance and the room decor. Mark, her dad, had decorated her room. We saw that in the last video. And so she's not too happy with the way things are. And her mother, Jennifer, knows that. Talking to Elazul in Amanda and Barrett's bar will grant you the encyclopedia entry for Elazul. So Elazul is Pearl's knight and one of the youngest Jumi. He speaks and acts in a rough manner and thus starts the occasional fight. And we've seen that he started fights already with Tipo, Duelle, Rachel, and Niccolo. And so he actually starts arguments with you. If you keep on refusing him, he starts saying damn it and stuff like that. And he tells you to butt out of his business if you're not on his side. So we don't have Elazul and we don't have the Jade Egg. What do you do if you don't have Elazul and you don't have the Jade Egg? How do you get those things? Well, what you can do is you circle around to the marketplace. And then as you leave the marketplace, Elazul will join you. So he says, hey, over here, take me with you. And then you can take him or you can refuse. So if we say we refuse, he says, I'll follow you, whether you like it or not. He says, I won't leave you alone until we bring her back. I promise. So whether you decide to take him or not, he joins you anyway, which is a bit annoying. Now that we have Elazul, let's talk to some of the people in town. First, let's talk to Inspector Boyd over here. Hey, you. The one in the mantle of sand. If you remember from the first video, Inspector Boyd was looking for a thief. So I think he's suspecting Elazul. You're the one everyone thinks is the stalker, aren't you? Well, what do you have to say? Looking for guys with reputations is your job, huh? Well, not really, but it's to keep the town peaceful. Don't you see? No, I don't. Very well. You're free to go. Don't do it again. And so that dialogue happens when you bring Elazul to speak to Inspector Boyd. Also, if you talk to him again, he says, blast it, young man. Don't scare me with such a scary face. Which is kind of funny. Now let's go into the church and talk to Reverend Nouveau. Helping those in need brings my own salvation. What would you like to know? And we could ask about the town and then the townsmen. And now this is different over here from the first time we did it in the first video. Instead of it saying man in the sand mantle, it says Elazul. So let's ask him about Elazul, who we have with us. I don't know much about him. But since he is here, why not ask him yourself? So that's pretty funny because that's a different conversation. When you don't have Elazul, those options don't appear. So now that we're back here in the center of town with Elazul, I just want to note that we don't have the Jade Egg, but we do have Elazul. So you see we have him as an NPC, but if you go down to your items and then down to your artifacts, we don't have the Jade Egg, and the reason is because I had stood up for Rachel, and Rachel's the one who's supposed to give you the Jade Egg. So if you go in and you speak to Rachel at this point, she'll give you the Jade Egg. So, what's this? And then, smells like pearl. Let's hurry. We didn't really have the moment where his core lit up in this scene the way it would have if we would have gotten the Jade Egg by choosing the second option each time. So, that's just another thing, a small thing to note. So there is one extra scene, and this is with Tipo in the house. Unfortunately, I've only triggered it once on stream when I had like a filter on the game, and it's not like a hack or anything, but I don't know how to trigger the scene again. So we're just going to play it here. We know that Tipo has had problems with Elazul, and this is what Tipo says. Oi, it's you. So you know that bloke? It'd be right proper if you had the stones to stop seeing him. Such a cheeky bloke you are. Again, if you know how to trigger that scene, let me know in the comments down below. It'll be interesting to see, because I don't know everything about this game, but I do know a bit, but I've only ever been able to trigger it once. But now that we have the Jade Egg, and actually let's show that off. So we go down to items, we go to artifact, and we have the Jade Egg here. You notice that it doesn't have a mark next to it because it hasn't been placed. It says the egg possesses the powers of creation. So let's go outside and let's place the Jade Egg on the world map. And we're going to place the Jade Egg to the left of home. So we're going to grab the Jade Egg, 2 spaces to the left of home. If you press triangle, you can see that it adds 1 shade, 1 gnome, and 1 undine to the home area. So it's just interesting to note how the map changes in the mana levels depending on what exactly you do. So we're going to enter the McKiv Caverns. So placing the Jade Egg grants you the McKiv Caverns. This limestone cavern was created by underground currents. Over the centuries, it was hollowed out and pillars were created. The cavern is made up of many levels, and they say, see Jade Egg, which is the reference to the artifact that gets you the McKiv Caverns. And this should trigger the Lost Princess event to start. The Lost Princess. Then we have a little scene where Elazul says, I sense brilliance nearby. It must be Pearl. We should hurry. Just entering the menu really quick because something did change. In the diary, we now have the Lost Princess event. In the bottom, it says, to the cave in search of Pearl. And you see that it's not complete. When the events in this menu are complete, they have a yellow circle next to them. So we're going to talk to Duelle here, and he's going to give us a little bit of information. Let's see. You're that stranger I met in Domina. Your name's Chumpy, right? You want to tell him your name is Chumpy. The dialogue is just a lot funnier. Just to show you what happens when you say you're not Chumpy, just say nope. And he says, okay, well, that doesn't matter. But let me tell you some things to help you in your battles. What do you want to know? And then we get into the options that he's going to teach us. We're back at the conversation about Chumpy, and we're going to say right. No way! So you're Chumpy? Wow! My dad told me a lot about you when I was a kid. I thought he was just boasting. Okay, Chumpy, go ahead and ask me anything you want. And so we have a lot of options here. Let's go from the beginning. In this, right now, these are the first battles that we're having. So this is going to be the battle tutorial 2. We're going to start off using the normal attacks and then the plunge attacks. So let's talk about abilities. So you have action abilities, special techniques, and hitting buttons. Action abilities are just the regular abilities like jump and defense, crouch that we have. Special techniques are weapon specific, and then the hitting buttons just talk about the buttons that we used to hit, the normal attacks. Action abilities. Action abilities are the various things you can do in combat. First, open the status menu. Select one player and then skills. There are 2 default abilities, but you could change them if you want. Select one and press X button. A list of abilities appears, right? You start with 8 and you can assign any you want to the buttons. As you use your current action abilities, you'll also learn new ones automatically, and it doesn't say here, but you'll also learn STs automatically. But you have to keep on assigning different abilities to learn them. Don't worry, I'm going to have a whole video about how to get all the abilities and all the STs in the game. For example, what do you think you'll learn when you master Defend and Push? The real answer is Grapple, but we're going to choose different answers just to be funny. Let's choose Love and Hate. Haha, that's pretty good. Actually, it's Grapple. Yeah, life is full of laughter, tears, and sorry, I couldn't think of anything. That was pretty funny, but let's go back and see what happens if we choose other options. So if we choose Deep Push, he says, well, I guess you could call it that. Actually, it's Grapple. And so if we choose Grapple, let's see what he says. That's right. The combination of the two is important. So let's talk about special techniques. Special techniques are major attacks that can be done once the meter is full. Everyone knows at least one, but you have to arm it in order to use it. You can learn more special techniques by engaging in more battles. The secret is in action abilities, or the abilities that you assign to your character. Using them will help you learn special techniques. So as you change your action abilities, more special techniques will come to you. Try using Lunge for now. Knowing more abilities lets you learn stronger special techniques. Let's talk about the hitting button. So the X is for a quick attack. Hitting it multiple times will give you a combo, and the number of attacks in a combo depends on the weapon. If you attack further, you will freeze for a while. The square button is for power attacks and has no combo. You won't be able to move for a little while afterwards. Of course, you can always change your button configurations. By the way, do you think you're good? And so we have a choice of saying yes or no here. So let's say no. He says, try doing a bunch of quick attacks with the weapon you have now. If you don't know which button that is, check the status screen. Normally it's the X button, and finish the combo with a power attack. If you time it right, you can keep on moving. So that's pretty interesting. But let's say yes, we're good. You can finish off a quick attack combo with a power attack. So basically pressing X and then the last button you press in the combo is square. After that, there are secret moves you can do. You'll have to try it out yourself. Those are called plunge attacks, and we'll talk about plunge attacks here in this video. Try it out when you're good enough. One more thing, you can use an ability between an attack and a power attack. By experimenting with all that, you can do some pretty impressive stuff. Are you up to it? So now we have another set of options, so let's see what all the options say. Let's say no way. Don't worry, I can't even do it. Relax. That was funny. No sweat. You can do it. Because you're that, legend thing. He's talking about Chumpy. Because we said we were Chumpy, he thinks we're a legend. And if we say which buttons, he'll say, remember, you can change the button configuration however you want. Try mixing all different kinds of moves. Don't worry if you mess up, and ask me whatever you like. So now that we've talked about all the abilities, we've talked about quick attacks, power attacks, plunge attacks, STs, all different types of things, let's talk about just general fighting. So let's talk about the synchro abilities. The synchro is the electric thing on top that happens when you're fighting enemies. It actually happens when you get close to your buddy character that's with you. Right now we have Elazul. So let's ask electric thing. It's kind of hard to explain. It shows up near the HP meter when you're close to your friend in combat. It has a helpful effect depending on who you're with. That's what friends are for, right? If we had chosen, that. It has a helpful effect. And if we choose the last option, which is I don't understand. It's kind of hard to explain. It shows up near the HP meter when you're close to a friend in combat. It has a helpful effect depending on who you're with. At any rate, stay close to your friend and check the HP meter. So that's what the synchro ability is. And actually, if we cancel out of here, we can see what synchro abilities we have and what synchro abilities our friends have. So in the menu, if you go to the main character, our synchro effect is that the HP recovery rate is increased, and the NPC's synchro effect that we have for Elazul is the attack gauge is increases faster, so it lets you do more STs. Let's see what he says about hit points. Hit points regenerate naturally, so if you get hurt, back off a little. And this is true. If you're getting too hurt in battle, you can back away from the enemy that's attacking you and you will regenerate hit points. Having crouch as an ability also helps you get hit points faster. If you pick up some candy or chocolate, then you'll regain HP faster. With the action ability crouch, you'll regain hit points even faster. So that's what hit points are, and once your hit points drops to 0, he didn't say it, but you basically die in battle. There are no sort of consumable items that will bring you back to life. You just have to wait till you come back to life, or wait till all your party members die, in which case they just restart you in that area that you were before the battle. We can talk about the ST meter. The special technique meter rises whenever you hit an enemy. Once it's full, you can let loose a killer special technique. Remember, special techniques are used with the left and right trigger buttons. Of course, you can always change your button configuration. So that's it for general fighting. Let's talk about something helpful. If we say, they're too strong, let's see what he says. If you move up and down a lot, then you can dodge attacks pretty easily. You can use any weapon, but I like the two-handed ones. They rock. This is strange because in the beginning of the game, he actually recommended that we get a glove. So I don't know why he would recommend a two-handed sword or two-handed axe. Here, you can learn how an enemy attacks by getting hit a lot. It's too difficult. Just go out and have fun. You can't do anything unless you try. Don't make it difficult on yourself. Just give it your best. And how can I win? Try shouting your sweetheart's name before a fight. That's the ticket. It sure helped me when I had to move a huge piano. If that doesn't do the trick, maybe you should try stunning the enemy. You can do that by hitting them over and over again with a combo. Combos are the attacks that leave that bluish hue, you know? Once they're stunned, you can thrash them with a killer special technique. So, I think those are all the options. The only thing that's left is to say goodbye. Alright, so now we're going to be learning about how to attack using regular attacks and power attacks. I'm going to show you how that looks. So from here, if we continue to the bottom right, we'll get our first battles of the game. So when you enter this area, I'm just going to go the quickest way to finish this event because we are going to be completing it multiple times in this video. So when you enter a battle, you can press start. We see here that we're fighting 3 enemies, 2 mushrooms, and a bloodsucker. Once you defeat an enemy, their entries will be listed in the encyclopedia. I'm actually not going to go over this in this video, but in the next video, we'll be exploring the McKiff Caverns a bit better. And we'll be actually going over each and every single enemy in the McKiff Caverns and what their encyclopedia entries has to say. Also, other than just telling us what enemies there are and what levels the enemies are in, you can actually click any button on your controller and it'll tell you what's assigned to it. So for X, I have my quick attack. For square, I have my power attack. I have push and defend assigned to triangle and circle, and then one of my shoulder buttons I have blammo. I have no other STs at this point. So we're going to start off by doing quick attacks on the bloodsucker enemy, just so you can see how the quick attacks look. So you can see that the quick attacks have sort of like a 3-hit combo. Now I'm going to use the power attacks to defeat 1 mushroom. Sorry, that's not what I wanted to do. That's a power attack right there, and you can see that its recovery is pretty long. Now I'm going to try to do 2 quick attacks and a power. So yeah, basically you can mix quick attacks and power attacks to do different kinds of combos in the game. Now we're going to talk about something a little bit different, and it's actually weapon dependent. And so if you go into your weapon and the status for your weapon, you can see down here that you have plunge attacks, and there are 3 types of plunge attacks that you can do. You can do the thrust plunge attack, the uppercut, and the jump plunge attack. So we're going to talk about how to do each of those 3 right now. So we're going to focus on this first battle on doing thrust plunge attacks. Now to do a thrust plunge attacks, you basically click forward, and then your power attack. Forward being towards the direction of the enemy. So yeah, let's go into the second battle, and we're going to do the thrust attacks. We have the Podo and 2 bloodsuckers. So that's a thrust attack, how that looks like with the hammer. You basically press forward and the power attack. Alright, it won't show up now after the battle, that's unfortunate. But yeah, forward and the power attack would be the thrust plunge attack. Now let's talk about the jump plunge attack with the next battle. You basically continue on to the right, We're gonna go down and to the left. This is basically the quickest way to get to the boss. And to do the jump plunge attack, you're basically gonna walk back and then forward and then attack. So it should look like that. Let's collect some of these crystals. I want to level up as much as possible before the boss. Yeah, so we're just defeating them, doing all types of jump plunge attacks here. And the next battle is actually going to be the boss battle. So we're going to go down here and we're going to see Sandra. And there's one more plunge attack that we haven't spoken about, and that's the uppercut plunge attack. So for the uppercut plunge attack, you're basically going to hold the D-pad down and then do a quarter circle motion towards the enemy and hit the power attack, and that should start the plunge attack. We have Sandra here, and talking to her will add her into the encyclopedia. So let's talk to her, and notice when we do this again with different people, there's going to be different conversations here. So let's just talk to her really quick. You sure are late. Pearl is this way. Hurry, go help her. And then Elazul says, who are you? Why do you know Pearl's name? One more thing. You'd best stay away from these people. And right now Sandra's talking to me, the main character, the hero of the game. Hey, how is it you know of us? And he's talking about Jumi. The Jumi race is supposed to be more secretive. They don't like that people know who they are because they're so vulnerable to dying easily. I hope you don't get turned to stone or anything. Now, this is the first time I think that we have a reference of turning to stone. We did see the student that was turned to stone in the Domina shop, but this is a reference to the fact that anybody who cries for Jumi gets turned into stone. And so Sandra's telling us, you know, we shouldn't be hanging out with Elazul, you know, with his people, and that she hopes that we don't get turned to stone. Shocked, Elazul is. We hear Pearl screaming, and we go off to save her. When you first talk to Sandra down in the McKiff Caverns, if you have done the Lost Princess before Nicolo's Business Unusual, you get this Sandra entry into the encyclopedia. And it says, the notorious jewel hunter who steals only the most brilliant jewels. Her daring thefts resulted in secret admirers of her work. Sandra here is a jewel hunter, and apparently she steals things, and this is pretty interesting because Inspector Boyd, when you first talk to him in Domina, says that there's a thief around, and so maybe he was talking about Sandra. Now, we don't have to talk to Sandra in this part. We can just go directly to the boss, and I will be defeating the boss here in the Stalagmite Cavern with uppercut attacks. And so we're gonna go. So this is the Duink. It's the first boss of the game. The Duink is one of 3 big ape-like bosses in the game, and we're going to talk about the different attacks that he can do. So it seems like Pearl has stumbled into the Duink's lair here in the Stalagmite Cavern. I just want to take a moment to appreciate his artwork here. He has a huge club with a skull bone on the top of it. For normal attacks, he has like a little kick that he does, and he could also swing his club down. But he has a few STs which are different. He has his Frost Breath ST, where he basically spits out this cold air that can freeze you. It can cause the freeze status. And he also has a Roof Shaker ST, where he throws his club into the air and you'll see the roof shake. So I'll point these out when he does them. Hopefully he does everything so we can see. The Roof Shaker brings down these stalactites from the ceiling, so it's a bit harder to dodge, but if you have an ST, you can use your ST as they're coming down and you won't get hurt. He also has an ST where he brings his hammer down really hard. So yeah, let's defeat him using uppercut attacks. And again, the uppercut attacks is sort of like a Hadouken motion. It's a quarter circle, and then you hit the power button. That's his bringing the hammer down ST. And then that's his normal kick attack. This is his Frost Breath No, that's the hammer down. Okay, it looks like he was gonna do frost breath for a second. Hope he does some of the other STs. If not, we're gonna defeat him multiple times. We have more than enough opportunities to see it. He's trying to kick us. It's not working out. And then this is another ST. Let's see. Okay, this is the roof shaker. And basically he did it away from us in the other direction, so we didn't see the stalactites fall from the sky that time. And again, I'm just doing the uppercut plunge attacks. That's his hammer down ST. And it kind of sort of stuns your enemy, paralyzes them for a little bit. And we just finished killing off the Duelle here. So if you go into the encyclopedia for monsters, this is the only time during this video which I'm going to go into the monster encyclopedia. All of the monsters that can be unlocked in the McKiv Caverns we'll go over in the next video for the McKiv Caverns. And again, if you have any input on what videos you would like the Geomana Academy to go over, please let me know, because I'm interested in not only doing videos that I'm interested in for Legend of Mana, but also answering questions that you might have about Legend of Mana. So if you go into the encyclopedia entry for the Duelle, actually all you get is the Duelle. It doesn't give information, and that's how it is, I think, with most of the bosses, where they just show you the picture of how the boss looks, and it's pretty badass. I wish that this game gave you information about the names of the STs for the bosses and the attacks and what elemental they're aligned with and all that jazz, but it doesn't. It just gives you beautiful character art. Let's pick up all the experience and money, experience and lucre. Pearl. So we have Pearl here. Where are you? He senses her, and then their cores sort of go off. Elazul, is your core alright? It's very important that the cores are intact. If the cores are removed from Majumi, they will die. So, yes. I told you not to go wandering by yourself. How did you end up here? I was, thinking about things. So she sort of was like, in her head, she's confused. We'll find out why later, but she has a tendency to wander off. You don't need to think anymore. Right now, you should just stay safe by my side. But that's enough. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. So we have a choice. We can either stick up for Pearl or stick up for Elazul. So we're gonna stick up for Pearl first. It says, you stay out of this. So Elazul sort of snapped at us for sticking up for Pearl. Who is that? Just someone who helped me find you. Strange kind of person. Oh. Well then, let's go. But see you around. Thank you. We're going. I'm sorry, I'm going too. And so then Pearl comes up to you. Thank you, the Zone. This is for all you've done for me. And she gives you the Stone Eye and the Firefly Lamp. And these artifacts create new areas in the game. Let's go back to that Pearl Elazul choice, and this time we're going to side with Elazul. He doesn't say anything, and it says, at any rate, don't leave my side, alright? Alright. I'm sorry. Well then, let's go. But, see you around. And he's not really mean to me because I didn't stick up for Pearl, but he didn't really say much. Elazul throughout most of the game will be kind of standoffish. He sort of has a one-track mind, and that's saving Pearl and taking care of her. Thank you, Pearl says. She turns red here. We're going. I'm sorry, I'm going too. And she's going to hand us the same two artifacts as before. Thank you, the Zone. This is for all you've done for me. We have the Stone Eye, and we have the Firefly Lamp. And so, upon completing the McKiv Caverns Lost Princess quest, you get this entry for Pearl. Pearl is Elazul's partner. She sometimes has a tough time speaking clearly and is also very shy. She has a tendency to wander off and get lost while thinking, and we see this a lot with her. And that's the end of the Lost Princess. Just one quick thing to note before we continue to defeat Lost Princess with someone else. If we go back and just check the event for Lost Princess, it should be completed in the menu. So one thing, if we go into our menu, we should see that in the diary, Lost Princess is now completed. We should also see in items that we have 2 new artifacts. The Firefly Lamp, where it says fireflies are romantic in the moonlight, and the Stone Eye, which says all who disobey will return to stone. And those are sort of references to what's going to happen when we enter. After you complete any event in the game, it's highly recommended that you go up. If you're playing casually, if you're doing like a speedrun or something, you don't have to do this. But, you know, you can go up and talk to Little Cactus. And what he'll do is he'll put it, he said fun to get lost, but he'll write what happened in his diary. And his diary entry usually is different than your own personal diary entry. So we'll see what he writes. So we have to leave the upstairs for him to actually write something. So we're going to go check, and under Lost Princess it says, fighting a monkey in the caverns and saving a girl. Wow, that sounds like something out of a movie, but the girl was really shy and turned red. I guess that was too much for my master. So there you go. That's what happens when you complete Lost Princess with Elazul. So after you complete the Lost Princess, either with Elazul or without, if you pick up Niccolo and talk to Pearl on the Luon Highway, so what we're going to do is we're going to start Niccolo's business unusual. You get an extra scene, and so I just want to point out this scene just because I consider it part of Lost Princess. And basically, you have to complete Lost Princess first to be able to see that Pearl is on the Luon Highway. So we're going to talk to Tipo here. She's actually going to... This is how we get the wheel to place the Luon Highway. So, yeah, we're just going to go outside. We're going to place the Luon Highway. We're going to talk to Pearl, and then we're going to come right back into Domina. And now we're going to place the Luon Highway, which is this wheel artifact. And we're going to place it to the left of the Makiv Caverns. And again, you don't have to do this in your playthrough. This is just how I'm doing it for this map. And this scene is easily missable because I think it's no longer available after you place Gato. And you get Gato pretty early on. I think you get Gato after the Niccolo's Business Unusual. So if you do this, where am I? Elazul? Oh, the zone. I got lost again. I wonder where Elazul could be. I bet that troublemaker is causing an uproar in Domina right now. So Niccolo actually makes a comment. Not a very good one. By the way, the zone, what is this place? And then we have an option. We can tell her it's a highway, or we can ask her if she's lost again. So we're going to say it's a highway. A highway? Oh. Maybe I should see what's over there. Maybe over there. And Pearl walks off. Let's see what happens if we choose the other choice. If we say lost again. Yes, I wonder where Elazul is. Maybe I should head this way. Yeah, alright. And then she just walks off to the left. So either way, she leaves. So we're going to exit to the world map, and we're going to check out the inn now. The second floor of the inn. So let's go into the bar first. And we see that Elazul is back with Rachel. That girl is lost again. Do you know anything? And then we'll talk to Elazul, and he'll say, silence, don't interrupt us. Where's Pearl? Do you know? Do you really not know? And then he has me shaking. Damn it! And so he's really upset that Pearl is nowhere to be found. Do you really not know? And it basically just causes me to shake. That's crazy. And so that is an extra scene, one of the extra scenes that you get by talking to Pearl in the Luon Highway. The second extra scene you get is actually up here in the in Mana Blessings, in the Mana Blessings Inn, in the second floor guest room. We have Sandra here. She only comes after you trigger the second scene with Elazul in the bar. So you can speak to Sandra. She says, well, did you find Pearl? I could say yeah or I don't know. So we're going to say yeah. Oh, I wanted to talk to her. The world is full of sparkle of life. It's just like the stars that fill up the night sky. Now let's choose the other option and say that we didn't find Pearl. I don't know. I hope she's okay. The world is full of the sparkle of life. It's just like the stars that fill up the night sky. So yeah, those are the scenes that you can get right after. Those are the scenes that you can get right after completing the Lost Princess. Again, you have to enter the Lone Highway with Niccolo, and you have to engage Pearl. You have to go into the bar in Domina to get the scene with Elazul saying that he lost Pearl a second time, and then in the end, you see that Sandra is now wishing that Pearl was okay. Let's go back to the start. There are different ways that you can complete this quest. That was how to complete it with Elazul, but you can also complete it with Niccolo. You can complete it without a partner. You can complete it with a partner from a second save file. You can complete it with Lark or Sierra or Elle, and so we're going to complete it just about with every single combination of characters. So you can't complete it with Pearl, with Black Pearl, and you cannot complete it with Esmeralda, which I think are the three characters. Most quests you cannot complete with Esmeralda, let's just put it that way. So in this scenario, we are going to obtain the Jade Egg here, and this is with Niccolo. So I just changed the character down below, and I also forgot to add the Duelle character. So there you go, to the little slideshow down below. We're going to be completing Lost Princess with Niccolo. We're also going to be talking about STs and power cancels during this time through. So just to obtain Elazul as quick as possible, we're going to just choose the second option each time. And this will give us both Elazul and the Jade Egg. Remember that if you don't choose the second option and you obtain Elazul a different way, you still have to come back into Amanda and Barrett's bar over here, talk to Rachel to receive the Jade Egg. So we're going to exit. We're going to loop around and talk to Niccolo, who's in the marketplace. So this is the center of Domina, town center, right? And then we're going to go up to Niccolo in the marketplace. So if we talk to Niccolo, my name's Niccolo, I'm a traveling merchant, but highway is full of bandits. It's too dangerous to leave the town, don't you think so? We're gonna be brave. We're gonna say, no, it's not dangerous to leave town. How brave of you. I can't do business with those highwaymen about. Let's go teach those bandits a lesson. Once we're done, I'll make you rich. So you're gonna say yes, say goodbye to that one, we won't get along. Yes, and so you basically ditched Elazul for Niccolo. Elazul's kind of upset. Do as you will. And he, his sort of core lit up. You're quite a mercenary. I like people who know the value of money. And this starts Niccolo's business unusual, but we're not going to worry about that right now. I need to stop and see Tipo. Come with me. We're not going to talk to Tipo. We're just going to go into completing the Lost Princess. Elazul again tries to join. He says, hey, over here. I knew there was something different about you. Take me with you. If you take him, you will lose Niccolo, so we don't want to do that. We're going to refuse him. Damn it! And he walks away. Now we are free to complete Lost Princess again with Niccolo. We're going to be focusing on power canceling, and we're going to focus on STs. This time, the ST is Blammo. It's the only ST that we have. And so we're going to use that against the Duelle enemy. So we're entering the McKiff Caverns just like last time, and when we start the Lost Princess, something interesting happens, because last time there was a dialogue that Elazul had said something, but now when you enter, no dialogue, so it's a little bit faster. We're going to go in, and we're going to start the first battle down here, and I'm going to be taking the same route for most of these, most of the times through. So I'm just going to press start here. What I'm going to be doing is power canceling. Now, power canceling happens when you hit the power button, right? The power attack button. So in my case, it's square, but you can change this in the menu. And a blank ST. So for me, I have L2 as my blank ST. And unlike a normal power attack, where you hit and wait a while, this severely decreases the amount of wait time. And this is my preferred way to attack enemies. It's just so much more that you can do, basically so much more time that you have to do more attacks, and you're less vulnerable this way. So let's do it. And if you successfully complete power cancel, you kind of hear like a cancel noise, that little grunt. we're gonna get these just because we don't have a lot. So you can see sometimes I'm mixing in plunge attacks here as well, just to make it go a little bit faster. But basically that's how you power cancel. You hit the power button and empty ST button. And basically empty ST button is just a ST button that doesn't have an ST assigned to it. We should talk about wiggle running as well. Whenever you move in the game, it's kind of slow. If you press circle, you run, and if you sort of wiggle while you run, that's the fastest way to move. And this is especially true in battles. In battles, if you wiggle run, that's sort of the fastest way to get around, especially because the movement in battle is severely decreased. And the circle running doesn't work in battles. That only works when you're not in battles. So there we go. And again, that was mostly using power cancels. If we go down here and we talk to Sandra, and we're going to ignore the chests. I'll go over how to get all the chests in the McKiv Caverns in the next video. The dialogue is going to be different. You sure are late. Pearl is this way. Hurry, go help her. And so she thinks that we're Elazul. We're with Elazul. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were someone else. That's pretty funny. Ah! We hear Pearl yelling. And then Sandra says, what? You're going to save Pearl? And so we have an option here. We could say that's right, that we're going to save her, or no, that we're not. So let's just choose that's right. Listen, you better keep clear of that group. You'll be turned into stone if you don't watch it. And so we can go in and save her now. But we can also talk to Sandra again. What is that Lapis kid up to? His partner is in so much danger. So she's referring to Elazul. Like, why isn't he here saving Pearl? Obviously, he would have been here if we didn't ditch him for Niccolo. If we go back to her option and say, no, that we're not going to save Pearl, she says, that's smart. And then we talk to her again. What is that Lapis kid up to? His partner is in so much danger. So let's go and save Pearl. And this time, we are going to be using our STs. We should have a full ST at this point. Again, this is the Stalagmite Cavern in the McKiv Caverns. That's where you find the big Duink enemy. Alright, and we're going to just start off with our ST Blammo. And I'm going to have a video going over all of the hammer STs. Okay, he looks like he's doing his ST. And this is the freeze breath, basically. And it looks like he hit Niccolo with it. Hopefully Niccolo turns into a snowman. Yep. So that's the effect that the frost breath has. It turns your character into snowman. That's the status. And then after a while, the snowman goes away. So let's see what he does now. He's doing the hammer down ST, which is alright. He always has a tell right before his STs. He sort of takes in a big breath before he does anything. I'm just doing power cancels until I have my Blammo again. And I'm doing Blammo. Niccolo's doing his ST, a gift for you. This is the ceiling shaking ST that brings down the stalactites from the top. I'm trying to see if I can get in one more Blammo, because I don't think I hit him with Blammo. And again, this looks like the frost breath, and he didn't hit either of us, so we're not going to freeze there. I'm going to see if I can hit him with the it's not going to hit. None of my Blammos hit, which is a bit annoying. Another frost breath. Again, he didn't hit anybody. It's fine. We're going to attack him a lot. So that's it for the Duink. Now we get to see the dialogue options for what happens when you complete the quest without Elazul. So Pearl's core shines, and there you go, it shines again. She comes out and she goes, Elazul? We're not Elazul, of course, but Elazul does come. There you go. And we have two options. We can ask if she's alright, and we can also ask who is Elazul. So if we ask if she's alright, yeah, I'm fine. No scratches or cracks at all. Pearl, are you alright? Elazul. Hey, what were you doing? Do you know him? Did they do anything to you? So Elazul is automatically suspicious of us. Like, why are we hanging out around Pearl? Nothing, why? This person was after your core, right, Pearl? So we can either say no or ask what a core is. We're gonna say no. No, Elazul, that person saved me. Remember, Pearl, we are easily hurt by others. Don't be so gullible. So Pearl is also a Jumi. I'm not. I don't know what you were plotting behind my back, but I won't let you get away with it. I will always protect Pearl. Well then, let's go. But, see you around. And then, thank you. We're going. I'm sorry, I'm going too. And then Pearl gives us the stone eye and the firefly lamp. Both of these can be had different ways. You can get the firefly lamp, for example, by completing 2 torches, which is how I recommend doing it. I do not recommend doing Lost Princess first. Now we're going to see how we complete the Lost Princess without Elazul and without Niccolo. And so to do this, we're going to go into this little cavern here, and we're going to go into the bar, to Amanda and Barrett's bar, and we're going to obtain the jade egg. So we're going to ask what happened. A friend is missing. Ask about the friend. She wears whatever, and then let's search for her. Together with me, you mustn't know. I would be grateful. What? Here. And then we get the jade egg, and we also get Elazul as our partner. There's one thing I forgot to do with the whole Niccolo. So we're going to go up here, and we're going to obtain Niccolo. We're going to say we don't think it's dangerous to go out, and that we do want to be rich, and we're going to say goodbye to Elazul. Elazul is a bit salty. It starts Niccolo's business unusual, and what I forgot to do when I had done the whole Niccolo thing the first time was to go and talk to Elazul. You can actually talk to him. He's in Amanda and Barrett's bar. So, hey, over here. I knew there was something different about you. Take me with you, and you could refuse to take him with you. Damn it. He's upset. So let's just talk to Elazul really quick. He's hanging out in the bar. He should be staring out the window, actually. And Pearl. And you could leave him alone, and he says, how dare you? Away with you. He's not too happy with the fact that you sort of are not helping him out to find Pearl. Again, we're going to complete this without Niccolo. And so the way we get rid of any partner in the game is to basically go home. Just enter the home, and that will get rid of the partner. And so we're going to keep the jade egg for now. There's something I do want to do. There's an extra scene that you can get if you don't have Niccolo and you don't have Elazul. So if you just enter the home, Niccolo will be like, I'm out. I have some business to do. See you later. And he leaves. So we're going to then go back into Domina to get that extra scene. It's important to pick up Niccolo, by the way, when you're doing this alone, because if you don't pick up Niccolo, as soon as you re-enter Domina without Elazul, if you picked up Elazul and got rid of Elazul at home, you could place the jade egg and you can do the Lost Princess alone. But if you were to re-enter Domina to get this scene, Elazul will try to join you. And so it's better that you pick up Niccolo if you want to get this one scene. And so you can go into Mark's place, basically. This is Mark's room. And you can talk to Tipo. And as we know from the first video, Tipo fancies herself a jewel collector, right? And we have to have also, I should say, in our inventory, the artifact Jade Egg unplaced. It has to be here without that check mark on it. Once you go out into the world map, it sort of is like, I should place that Jade Egg. But if you don't place it, and you don't have Elazul or anybody else with you, and you talk to Tipo with the Jade Egg, this is what she says. That's not one of my eggs. Let me have a gander. Why, it's Jade, blimey! Huh? Of course I know. I may not look it, but I'm a jewel collector, see? It's quite an item, that. Where'd you get it? I see. The egg's got something to do with a girl in the white dress. Maybe that's why Rachel gave it to you instead of that stalker. And this is the second time we see Elazor referred to as a stalker, but Inspector Boyd and now Tipo both refer to him as a stalker. You really should help find that poor lass, and that's what we're gonna do. If we talk to him again, he's gonna say the same thing. It's basically just repeats it, because you have the jade egg on you. So we're going to go out, we're going to place the jade egg, and we're going to just complete the event one more time by ourselves. We're also going to complete it with a character from a second save file as well, just to show you how that would look. I forgot, just down below, I just took out Niccolo now. Oh, I'm messing up so much. It's fine. You guys know what I'm doing here. I'm completing Lost Princess different ways with different combinations of people. Let's go down. Whoa, that took longer than I would have liked. Also, I'm alone, so there's that. Let's go forward. For the items that we are receiving, most of these items are secondary items. They're not primary items or weapons. And so we'll talk about items a bit more later. We actually did a quick little overview of the items that you would get, types of items you get in the first tutorial video when we looked over the items encyclopedia. But most of these that you get in the McKiff Caverns on your way to the Do Inc. are secondary items. They're not really that important at this point of the game. Just keep on collecting them because they might be important if you like to temper something. So just keep them with you. So now we're making our way down. We are going to talk to Sandra now, and let's see what she says now that we're alone and we don't have a partner with us. You sure are late. Pearl is this way. Hurry, go help her. I'm sorry, I thought you were someone else. Ah! What? You're going to save Pearl? We'll just say that's right. Listen, you better keep clear of them. You'll be turned to stone if you don't watch it. So it's basically the same dialogue that she has as if you were with Niccolo. And again, you can completely ignore her and just enter the stalagmite cavern and fight the Do Inc. So we're just going to fight him alone. We're going to start off with the ST. Hopefully he doesn't do an ST too early and we actually get to hit him this time. There you go. Okay, so he's doing one of his STs. Let's see which one it is. It's the Frost Breath ST. See another ST on his part. And again, it's the Frost Breath ST. At Blammo here, I probably shouldn't have used that. I probably should have waited till he did an ST first. There you go. He has another ST coming. And it's the Ceiling Shake ST where the stalactites fall down. There you go. He did the hammer hit. You don't really see that normal attack. Mostly he does the kicking normal attack. But he just did the hammer hit. And this is the hammer down ST. Mostly he does the kicking one. I think it depends on how far you are, but I'm not quite sure. Another ST, let's see which one of it is. He basically has those three STs. I don't think I've ever seen him do a different ST, but I might be wrong. Maybe in New Game Plus, when we do the New Game Plus, he'll like show off a different ST. But usually it's the Frost Breath, it's the Hammer Down, or it's the Ceiling Shake. And there you go, he did the Ceiling Shake a bit further away. There you go. Elazul, and this is basically the same as when you were with Niccolo. We could ask now, we're going to choose the second options now. And we're going to ask who's Elazul, and we're also going to ask later, what's a core? Elazul is the Lapis Knight, my personal sentinel. Pearl, are you alright? Elazul! And then she goes and talks to him. And we're also going to choose the second option here. Hey, what were you doing? Do you know him? Did they do anything to you? Nothing. Why? This person was after your core, right, Pearl? We're going to ask what a core is. We saw what the other option was the first time when we were with Niccolo. You mean you don't know about cores? You must be joking. That's rude. Don't be tricked by strangers. You and I are alone in this world. Without you. I'm sorry, Elazul. It's okay. I won't leave you ever. Well then, let's go. But, see you around. And just like that, we finished the quest again, and this time alone. So we're going. I'm sorry. I'm going to. Thank you, the Zone. This is for all you've done for me. And she hands you the stone eye and the firefly lamp. You're always going to get the stone eye and the firefly lamp if you complete this early on. But if you complete it later, after you've gotten the stone eye and the firefly lamp from other quests, what she does is she gives you instead a medal. So it could be a grand steel, it could be, for example, a Tina alloy, any type of metal depending on where it's placed on the map. And so that's how you complete it alone. Now we're going to try to complete it with a character from a second save file. And we're going to do it exactly the same way. We're going to pick up Elazul. Silence, do not interrupt me. Speak up. Don't make me angry. What are you hiding? We're just going to go through the options really quick. After Elazul, we have to pick up Niccolo so that when we re-enter Domina, Elazul doesn't automatically join us. And actually, let me change this down here. So there you go. We have the main male and the main female that we're going to be using to defeat. And my second character file actually is a level 99 file, and it has a weapon that's 999. So it should be pretty quick. Do you think so? No. How brave of you. And then we're going to say yes to being rich and yes to ditching Elazul. Alright, the fastest way would probably be up, maybe. He wants to see Tipo. We're not going to see Tipo, but the next time we do Lost Princess, we will see Tipo. And that's to get another character to complete it with. So, again, we have to ditch Elazul. We're going to refuse. Now we're going to drop off Niccolo at home, and we're going to re-enter Domina, and we're going to engage with the empty house to pull a character from a second save file. We're not going to really place the Jade Egg yet. Again, if you wanted to talk to Tipo to get that scene, you can do it when you're alone. When you don't have Niccolo or Elazul with you, you can talk to Tipo and get that extra scene where he's like fawning over the Jade Egg. Now, the reason I know this video is supposed to be battle tutorial, the reason I'm not going over the abilities is because I'm going to have a second video, a different video with all the abilities gone over and how to obtain every single ability in the game and what they do in battle. And so currently I have a save file where I have all those abilities. I just need to work on the video basically. So if we engage with this empty house, we can pull over a save character from a separate file. I'm going to pull over this character here. Character called Yumi. And so if your friend has a game, or if you have multiple save files, you can actually bring in your character from a different save file, so long as it's not the same save file. So let's place the Jade Egg. We're going to enter the Mikif Caverns, and we're just going to play it through normally. Now the second player character I have here is not being controlled by anybody, it's just controlled by the AI, and it's actually pretty strong. And I think you're going to see that pretty quickly. So I'm just going to go over that really quick. So if we go to my second player file, you can see the levels are all pretty high. And for equipment, they have a really awesome weapon here. I can't switch out any of the armor or anything. And for skills, some pretty good skills. Rain of Death, Carpet Bomber, different bomb STs. Oh, that was weird. Alright, so now we're gonna go down and we're gonna talk to Sandra again. Meh, same conversations. Again, you don't have to talk to Sandra, you could just enter the cave right away. So my second player file basically killed the Duelle in one hit. It doesn't really help. Oh, and also we get extra money because she has an armor that has extra money. This is important. So I learned Super Slugger and True Shot. So if you have a second player save file that knows STs, just by your character being with them, your character will also learn new STs, which is just interesting to note. The end is going to be exactly the same. Hey guys, so now we're going to do the Lost Princess with Dana. You can see that the sprite down below has changed. And so the way to do this would be first to obtain the Jade Egg and then to obtain the Lone Highway. I kind of messed up there, but that's fine. We could do it on the way out. We could do it with Niccolo first and then we'll pick up Elazul after. It doesn't matter who you have with you, so long as you talk to Dana on the Lone Highway. So, we're going to go up. We're going to get Niccolo first. We're going to say no, and then we're going to say yes. It's going to start Niccolo's business as usual. Again, it doesn't matter the order in which you do it. We're going to refuse Elazul here so that we can get the wheel. We're going to go visit Tipo and get the wheel. And then when we leave, we basically, to get Elazul at this point, after we've denied him in the bar and in the marketplace, we basically go back into Amanda and Barrett's inn. And he's staring at the window, says Pearl, and we offer to help him. Do you really wish to come with me? And then we have to go with him. I have business to do. See you later. And Niccolo sort of dips out. Let's go. And so that's how we obtain Elazul, and we could talk to her, Rachel, to get the Jade Egg. Smells like Pearl, let's hurry. This is basically the same dialogue as before. So now we have the Jade Egg, the wheel, and Elazul in our party. Now the wheel, I'm just going to place it wherever because I can't place it next to the McKiff Caverns. This is not the save file I'm going to be using for like all these tutorials. So this is kind of messing up the map. But again, you can place it wherever you want. It doesn't necessarily have to be anywhere particular unless you're trying to get all the events that are blocked by mana levels. I could have actually placed it where the McKiff Caverns were and it wouldn't have been a problem. So now we're going to basically walk through until we see Dana hanging out on the highway. And then we talk to Dana. She says, "Hello, I'm Dana. I come from Gato. Did you see one of the 7 wisdoms?" And we could say that we came to see a wisdom. Where's Gato? Or who are the wisdoms? Doesn't matter what we say. We'll go over all of the options in the Nicholas Business Unusual video. She says she's afraid to see him because she fears that the truth will make her suffer more than she already is suffering. Once we've seen her, that activates her to be in the inn. We don't actually have to talk to her, but I just like to talk to her while I'm there. But just seeing her there activates her to be in the inn in Domina. Exit the world map, head home, ditch Elazul, head into Domina, pick up Dana. So Elazul is not very happy. That's fine. We're trying to get Dana. Oh, there's no issue. Awesome. Sometimes when you enter Domina, automatically they want you to pick up Elazul, and it's kind of annoying. So if you enter the inn, the Mana Blessings Inn, Dana's here on the first floor. Say, what do you know about the mana tree? You can say I know or I don't know. It doesn't matter. If you say I know, you don't have to play along. There's no such thing. I know that what happens to your soul after you die. You have to say it lives forever for her to join you and you to start actually the Wisdom of Gaius quest. I know I want to meet Gaius, so let's go. Thank you. I knew you'd say that. Let's go. So now that you have Dana with you for the Wisdom of Gaius, you can actually complete a lot of quests with her, so long as you don't do the Wisdom of Gaius quest, which is talking to Gaius in the Luan Highway, and so long as you do not enter Gado Grodos, you can actually complete like Lost Princess, Little Sorcerers, the Pet quest. You can complete Nicolo's Business Unusual, all these other quests, so long as you never enter Gado and you don't pick up another partner and you don't finish the Wisdom of Gaius. So let's go into the McKiv Caverns, and as soon as we enter, like normal, it's going to start the Lost Princess quest. So by now you guys know the route to take. You're basically going right, you're swinging around, you're going downstairs to the deepest stalagmite cavern here in the McKiv Caverns. Thanks, Dana. So we could talk to Sandra, but we already know what she's going to say, so we're just going to skip talking to her, enter the cavern, and fight the Duink. And one good thing to note about doing Lost Princess with characters that are not Elazul, I guess I neglected to say this before, but if you do it with Elazul, then you lose your partner. If you do it with anyone that's not Elazul, for example, a second player file, Dana, Nicolo, Bud, Lisa, or anybody else that we're going to be doing with the quest with, you won't lose them after this quest. Oh, wow. He hit me with more. I think that's the longest chain of normals, of like normal kicks that he's ever hit me with. It's a little bit annoying, but it's also really funny. Dana seems to be helping. Let's see if she pulls off an ST. I'm just going to hit normally, see what she ends up pulling off here. Okay, he is pulling off his ceiling shaking ST. She's doing round the world. She can't really see really well because it happened behind him. And it didn't hit because he was in the middle of his ST, but that's alright. There we go. And we defeated the, the Lost Princess with Dana. Let's just check out the dialogues here. It's going to be the same dialogues that we've seen already. I'm getting special abilities and stuff, but we'll go over the abilities in a separate video like I said before. We're going to ask if she's alright, and then we're going to say, just for fun, that we don't know anything about cores. We've already seen this dialogue multiple times. It doesn't matter what partner you do it with, so long as you do not do it with Elazul, sort of the same set of questions and answers and dialogue is there. So we're going to say we don't know what a core is. He says we're joking. She says he's rude. And then it finishes, and we still we get the splash screen for the end of Lost Princess. We get the stone eye and the firefly lamp, of course. Awesome. So in the next run through, we're gonna be doing this with Bud and Lisa. To get Bud and Lisa, you actually have to defeat the Little Sorcerer's quest, and to trigger the Little Sorcerers, you have to either do Wisdom of Gaius or Nicolo's Business Unusual. So you either do Nicolo's Business Unusual or Wisdom of Gaius, and then you head home, you trigger the Sorcerer event, and then you get the Little Sorcerers at home, and then you pick up Bud and Lisa from home, and you do the Lost Princess. So that's how you trigger with Bud and Lisa. So to complete Lost Princess with Bud, and I'm sorry I had to turn off the lights here so it's a bit dark, but it has cool effects with this joystick. To complete Lost Princess with Bud, you have to first finish off the Little Sorcerer's quest. So once you have the Tiny Sorcerer's quest done, they're at home. But you can't just go home, pick them up, and complete Lost Princess. You need to pick up Elazul, and you pick him up at the bar, or if you for some reason he's walked out the bar, you basically enter the marketplace up here, and then when you come down, you can pick him up. He'll say, hey, I'm looking for someone, I need your help, and you could take him or refuse him then. So once you do that, you have to have the jade egg, and so I'm talking to Rachel to get the jade egg, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick up Bud or Lisa. So let's go home. So when you enter the house, Elazul is going to leave you. He's going to say, do as you will. He's not too happy, basically. And then we can pick up Bud here. Master, call me your #1 apprentice. Picking up Bud, I studied at the Academy of Magic. I've heard of the 7 wisdoms of mana, except one died, so now there are only 6. I sure would like to meet them someday. I wonder where they are. And so, hey, take me on a search for them. So, accepting Bud starts 7 wisdoms, always, no matter what, but you don't have to do 7 wisdoms right away. So we're just going to take Bud, we're going to lay down the jade egg, and then we're going to complete the Lost Princess event. So as we see, we get the splash screen here. Duelle is still here. Something interesting to note is that there's no boinks here, and so there weren't any boinks the first time we came in, the first few times we came in. But after Lost Princess, the boinks do appear. We're going to do that in the next video where we explore the McKiv Caverns a bit. One cool thing about Bud and Lisa is that they use a lot of magic attacks, and so you see here, he's just laying it on with the magic back to back, which is great. They're not very extremely powerful. You need to level them up. Well, once they level up a bit, they get more powerful, basically. And so we're following the same path as before. One thing to note that since we've already done Nicolo's Business Unusual, this is the first quest that we're doing after Nicolo's Business Unusual. You could do this with Nicolo without completing Business Unusual. You could do it with Dana without completing Business Unusual. And so something's going to be different now. When we go down, right before we get to the Stalactite Cavern where we fight the Duelle, usually we see Sandra there, but because we already have one artifact, because we already got an artifact here from Nicolo's Business Unusual, and that artifact is the Flame. Sandra actually is in the town created by the Flame. She's in Gato, hanging out. And so because she's in Gato, she's in the Flame, she will no longer appear here. So once you complete Nicolo's Business Unusual, Sandra will no longer be here. So that's just something to note. If you're playing with Nicolo or Dana or your own character or Elazul before doing next business, Sandra will be there. If you do it with anybody after next business, Sandra won't. Come on, bud. Do something cool. There you go. We have his freeze breath ST. He's using a lot of normal kick attacks here. There you go. Bud's hitting him with the harp attack, with the earth magic, the dirt harp. Let's see another ST by the Doink. And this one is, wow, the bringing down the hammer ST, and he actually hit me with it. Okay, he's doing the stalactite, the ceiling ST, where he's shaking the ceiling. There you go, that's bringing down the hammer ST that he just did. There you go, bringing down the hammer again. And I got him with my ST Blammo. That should be enough to kill him. Oh, okay, a few more hits, I guess. There you go. And that's finishing the Lost Princess with Bud. We don't have to go through the options here at the end. We beat it, and the options are exactly the same as they were before. Let's beat it with Lisa now. So again, to do it with Lisa, it's exactly the same way you did it with Bud. You have to have finished the Tiny Sorcerers event, the Little Sorcerers. So if we go here, Tiny Sorcerers are done. I had picked up Bud, and that's why the 7 Wisdoms has started. Thank you for taking us in. And then she says, why not take me with you? I know I'll be more useful than Bud. So yeah, sure, alright. I haven't been doing this for all the characters, I probably should. But just really quick, Lisa is level 3. She has Magic Plus, so magic levels are increased. Basically, your magic stats are more powerful when you have Lisa with you. Awesome, cool to know. She has just a hauberk and a helmet, both made out of bronze. Pretty low level, to be honest. But her magic attacks here are with the staff. She has Halo, which hits all the nearby enemies. She also has a gold flute, the fire drum, and the flyer harp. So yeah, let's take her out and let's complete the Lost Princess now with Lisa. And again, we're just gonna do it like Bud until we fight and beat the Duink. So, entering the McKiv Caverns, like always, starts the Lost Princess event, and we're just gonna make our way as fast as possible to the Duink. So this is the Poto and the 2 Bloodsuckers. Bloodsuckers, by the way, are actually aerial enemies. We'll go through this in the McKiv Caverns video, but they're not, you know, demonic enemies or undead enemies, which is interesting. They're considered aerial, so they're the same like the Needlebeak and the Chocobo and the Cockatrice and the Garuda. So here is where we take a turn. We're still heading down to the lower portions. I don't think I mentioned it last time, but here we're fighting a pincher crab and 2 mushbooms. Notice that also, if you complete the Nigelo's Business Unusual first, these enemies will be slightly higher. So if you place that land first and then you place the Jade Egg, instead of being level 1 enemies, these enemies end up being level 2. Not a big sorry, level 3. So it's not a big deal, but it's just something to be aware of, that the placement of your lands does affect the enemy levels. As for your buddy, sometimes they pick up experience and stuff, but the experience for the person you're playing with is actually predetermined. So if you don't, if they don't level up and then you drop them somewhere like and pick them up later, they will have leveled up, assuming you've completed stuff in the game. And so the level will typically be higher. Yeah, so again, Sandra's not here because you need to do Nicolo's Business Unusual or the Wisdom of Gaius. You have to have completed one quest to obtain Bud and Lisa, so that's why Sandra is not there. Because after Nick's business, I got the flame, and so Sandra is now in Gato in the flames. And that was a total whiff. So that was another move that he has, that where he throws the hammer. That's not one that he does often, but it seems like that's his power hit, where he throws the hammer. It's not one that I see very often. But it doesn't have sort of the same ST setup as his other moves. See, that was the sort of the bringing the hammer down ST that he does. He's doing another ST here. Let's see if I could run away. This is the ceiling shaking one, where he drops stalactites everywhere. Damn, he kicked me. That's not good. I keep getting a boot to the face. Come on, Lisa, help me out. Alright, he's freezing Lisa. That causes the freeze status ability. And so you can see that Lisa is now frozen, unfortunately. And he's doing another ST here, and he's dropping, bringing down the hammer. Another ST, let's see what it is. I'm gonna see if I could coax him to throw the hammer to me, because that's not a move that you see often, but if I hang out far, let's see if he'll do it. He did a little jump there, which is something I don't often see him do. I wonder if it's because she hit him, or yeah, he's just jumping. That's a weird thing. That's probably one of his abilities. Like currently I have this like little lunge ability, and I have defend. So he probably has a jump ability set. Huh, she killed him! Hey, Lisa killed him! I didn't even touch him! Oh, that's pretty cool! So yeah, that's how you do the Lost Princess with Lisa. Again, you have to complete Nicolo's Business Unusual first, and then the Tiny Sorcerers. Now let's do it with Lark. Okay, so let's talk about how to obtain Lark, because the way to obtain Lark without doing Lost Princess is a bit more complicated than people are normally used to it. Lost Princess would normally give you the Firefly lamp, and that lamp lets you get Lumina, and when you do the first quest in Lumina, you get the Trembling Spoon, which is this underworld area that we're in, and it would give you Lark. But because we haven't completed Lost Princess yet, we sort of have to get the Trembling Spoon in a more convoluted way. The way you do it is you complete Nick's Business Unusual, and you get the flame, which makes Gato Grottos. In Gato Grottos, you can complete a few quests. The more important one is 2 torches. The first quest that you're kind of forced to complete is Flame of Hope. But then, after you complete Flame of Hope, you can complete the 2 torches. The 2 torches will then get you the Firefly Lamp, and then the Firefly Lamp will get you the Trembling Spoon. And you place the Trembling Spoon, it's the underworld, and then you can pick up Lark. So he wants to search for dragons. Let's go. We're not actually going to search for dragons. What we're going to do is we're going to fight the Duelle and do the Lost Princess quest. One cool thing I want you to note here is that if you hold off on doing Lost Princess for long enough, it's actually easier to do. And the reason it's easier, first of all, your characters are really high level. Assuming you didn't place the Jade Egg later and had the enemies be more high level, because the later you place an artifact, the higher the levels are. The levels of the enemy should still be pretty low at this point in the game. You see here that there's a boink, and this bottom boink will actually transport you pretty close. And these boinks are here after a certain amount of time after having placed the Jade Egg. The boinks appear there. They also appear right after you do Lost Princess, but even if you haven't done Lost Princess yet, they just appear there after a certain amount of time. So let's talk about the boinks. The boinks are creatures that basically when you engage with them, they transport you somewhere in the area you're in. So yeah, the boinks here in the McKiv Caverns are going to help us transport closer to the stalagmite cavern where the Duink is. The encyclopedia entry here reads, "A strange creature that knows the links between dimensions. Those who touch it will immediately fly to where its tail is." So if you just look at how the boinks are in the world, apparently you fly to where their tails are pointing. So it's actually pretty fast because you have one battle down here and then you fight the Duink. So it's pretty easy to complete this, and it's a lot faster to complete this quest actually later if you're able to hold off. A lot of people do like to complete this quest pretty early because the McKiv Caverns is a good place to grind for some weaponry, specifically axes. You could grind a few axes here, and you could also grind a few good spears from the Sahagins in this area. So we're just going to check out the level of the Duink, just to show you that the levels don't really change too much. It depends more on when you place it than when you do it, and I did place the Jade Egg a long time ago. So he's a level 7 Duink. Not that hard, actually. Not that hard. Especially when my character's such a high level. It looks like he's doing an ST here, and it's the hammer ST, the bringing down the hammer. And you see that wasn't even that bad. It was a pretty quick fight. It's quick again because we're a lot stronger. We have higher level. It's quick because we have higher levels, basically. But that's how you complete it with Lark. So to complete Lost Princess with Sierra, you have to hold off on doing Lost Princess until after you've gotten Lark, and then place the Trembling Spoon, and place a lot of other artifacts and places in the world. Specifically, you have to go through almost the entire Dragon storyline until Crimson Dragon. That's when you're able to use Sierra. So to get Sierra, you head to the underworld right before Crimson Dragon. Basically, Sierra comes up, and just to show you one more time in the diary, you would have had to finish a lot of the Dragon storyline until Dragon Princess. After Dragon Princess, you fight Sierra and Vidis together, and then you go into the underworld, and Sierra becomes available here. So you talk with her. "I was ordered by my master, Vidis, to hunt down Lark. Will you come with me?" And you have to go with her. Let us go. So again, you have to hold off on doing Lost Princess. You can't do it with anybody else all the way until this, which is pretty far into the game, literally. After you do Crimson Dragon, you could just about beat the game, assuming that you have enough lands placed. So let's do this. We're finishing off Lost Princess with Sierra, and the same thing like with Lark. It's pretty easy because the Boink will transport you to the bottom of the McKiv Caverns. And again, this is normally something that happens after you finish Lost Princess for the first time. But if you hold off on doing Lost Princess, it's just something that happens after you place like a certain number of lands and after you've played for a while. The Boinks just appear even without having completed Lost Princess. So from the Boink teleportation area, you can just keep on going to the bottom left. You have this one set of enemies. Actually, let's see. The Pincher Crab is level 8 and the Mushrooms are level 5. I've changed my weapon at this point of the game to these flails. They're a bit faster, and you can see my character zooming around. Weapon choice is, I said it in the last video, pretty important for how fast your character moves, especially during battles. It doesn't really affect how your characters move outside of the battles. So we're going to continue into this area, which is the Stalagmite Cavern, and that's where we fight the Duink, and it should be pretty easy. Let's see what level the Duink is here. So level 7 Duink should be pretty easy to fight. Alright, let's see if I could do a ST. Oh, the Duink is doing. Which ST is he doing? The Frost Breath. And he hit poor Sierra with his Frosty Breath. I think every time I do it, it's like just a second before like he starts to do his ST. But that's fine. So we beat the Duink with our buddy Sierra. And that's that. Again, there's no special dialogue here at the end. It's the same dialogue we got when we beat it alone, when we beat it with our second player, when we beat it with Niccolo, when we beat it with everybody else, the same choices. And so, yeah, let's go to the next one. So now let's beat the Lost Princess with Escad. To do this, we have to go to the jungle, and in the jungle we can pick up Escad. So I placed the jungle somewhere here. To get Escad to show up, you have to play the fairy storyline until he shows up in the jungle. So you have to do a few quests in that storyline. The fastest way to get him, you talk to this psychokinetic flowerling. And you go to the, I believe it's the Forested Ruins. And you go up, and Escad should be up here. There you go. You're interesting. Come with me, let's go together. Yes, let's do it. I can make you a hero, just don't get in my way. Alright, let's check him out. Let's see what he has. So Escad is, I got him at level 24. He has Magic Touch. So he adds magic effects to our actions, to our fighting. That's his synchro, and that only happens when he's close to us. He has the Soul Blade, which is the Lormar Iron two-handed sword. He has Ish Platinum Armor, which is pretty cool. High Jump and Slide are his abilities. Life Stealer is his special technique. And then these are two-handed sword STs, which he also has equipped. So, once we get him in the jungle, we kind of have to make our way out of the jungle. Again, since we've had to play through the game a bit, the boinks are here, so we'll just teleport with a boink. We have that one battle, and let's see what level the Duink is going to be. I think it's going to be actually it's going to be the same level as with Sierra, because it's the same save file that I used. So I just wanted to double check that. We've seen this multiple times now, but just to check one more time, the Duink is level 7. Ah, it's not gonna hit. Double Dragon's not gonna hit. I wish it would. This Double Dragon is so cool. The Duink is doing his ST, and it is the Freezing ST. And you see that he's turned our poor little Rabbite into a snowman here. This guy doesn't seem to be doing any of his special moves, which is unfortunate. There you go. And that's it for the Duink. Oh, thank you, Rabbite, for taking all the experience. Anyway, now we get to see what happens when we complete the Lost Princess with L. So I'll show you how to do that. Hey guys, so you obtain L here in the Birdcage Lighthouse all the way in Medora Beach. To be able to do this, to obtain her, you have had to have completed a Siren Song. And so if you go here, once you go all the way down, you see Siren Song. The siren was persecuted. basically, she was put in this lighthouse by the minions of Deathbringer, I suppose, by the soldiers here. So we're just going to make our way out of this beach area. And I didn't do it, but let's just do it now. Let's see what Elle is packing in terms of synchros and all that stuff. So Elle is level 24. She has an elemental shield, so she gets protection against all elements. She has no weapons, so she fights with her hands. She has platinum armor. She uses 2 water magics, 1 drum and 1 flute, and then she also has a harp and a marimba for wind magic. So the magic she has: bubble burst, splash blade, cyclone spear, and wind viper. Again, all of these magic abilities that they have, you can get it too. It's not exclusive to you know, Bud, Lisa, or Elle in this case. But it's just a matter of knowing how to make it, what materials to use. We'll go over extensively how to get all different types of weapons and magics in this game later on down the tutorials. But while we're heading out of Medora Beach, I just want to ask everybody, if you're watching this, please leave a comment down below. What questions do you have, or what would you like answered, or what would you like me to go over in Legend of Mana? I don't know everything. I'm not pretending to know everything, but I like to learn and I like to answer people's questions, and I love this game. I love to play this game and experiment with it, and as you can see here, sort of break it a little bit, because Lost Princess is something you're supposed to do early on, and I'm obviously not doing that in this situation. This is way later in the game, and we're doing Lost Princess like you know, towards the end of the game, basically. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you think my future videos should consist of, if there's anything you specifically want me to go over. I do plan on doing tempering videos and ST videos and magic videos, all types of stuff. But yeah, let's enter the McKiv Caverns and do this with Elle. And if you stayed until this point, I highly recommend you stay to the end, because at the end we're going to grab Pearl and enter the McKiv Caverns without having done Lost Princess to see what happens. So this is the Lost Princess quest. Again, we're going to use the Boink shortcut just to save time. And again, we have Elle, and so that's the difference here. And again, the dialogue is going to be exactly the same as when you have anybody else other than Esgad. The only reason I'm doing it with all these characters is to show you that you can, and to show you that there's more than one way to play the game. You don't necessarily have to play the game you know, that was attack on everybody magic. That was nice. You don't necessarily have to complete the quests with the characters that the game tells you to. You can always sort of ditch certain characters and do it in a different way, you know? And so we're entering the stalagmite cavern down here. I love the name of that area, the stalagmite cavern. And again, Elle, she's level 24 now, elemental shield, and all magic attacks. She also has cheer and spin. Spin confuses the enemies, and cheer is a battle cry. So yeah, let's see what happens. She flies very quickly compared to some of the other NPCs. It's pretty fast. Alright, let's do it. Come on. Get in her way. Damn, I wanted her to hit him with that magic attack. I'm almost done with him here. Okay, he's using an ST. And it seems like our poor Rabbite here is going to get... Snowman, no! How could you do that to my poor Rabbite? He was going to bring down the hammer. Not as an ST, but as a normal attack. There you go, the hammer hit. It's not one that I see him do often, because I'm usually attacking him pretty harsh. But me and Elle likes to hang out in the background and do sort of magic attacks from afar. That is... Oh, there you go. The hammer throw ability. That's his... heart attack, basically, the hammer throw. But Elle likes to hang out in the background and do magic attacks from afar. And that's just the way she's programmed, her AI. He's doing the ceiling shake ST. Let's get rid of him now. But yeah, so again, the attacks for Duelle, for normal attacks, he has his kick, he has his bringing the hammer, he has his hammer attack, and then he has the throwing the hammer, which is his like harsh attack, and then he has the 3 STs, the frost breath, the shaking the ceiling, and then bringing down the hammer. So now let's see what happens when we grab Pearl first and then head into the McKiv Caverns. So I know this might sound weird. How can we grab Pearl if we haven't done the Lost Princess? It sounds insane, but actually, if you can see here in my diary, Lost Princess is not in here. I have not done that yet at this point. And the way you can grab Pearl without doing the Lost Princess is by having the artifact of, having the Moon's Mirror artifact. Where is it? Where is it? The Moon's Mirror artifact. This is the fate of mankind is reflected within. And basically, this is the first time we're going to see or meet Pearl, right? We haven't done the Lost Princess yet, and so we're gonna exit home. I was just at home to show you guys how. So basically, you place down the Moon's Mirror and you create the Tower of Lieres. Now, the interesting thing is that if you have Escad in your party and you enter the Tower of Lieres, you will be kicked out. There's going to be a boink that will basically bring you back to the world map. But if you do not have Escad with you and you enter the Tower of Lieres, it will start the quest that occurs here. And this is basically, I think, one of the first quests of the Jumi storyline. So we're going to talk to Pearl. And remember, this is the first time we meet her. Yeah, the Looking Glass Tower. And you can tell it's the Jumi storyline because it has that beautiful animation in the beginning. Lieres. Ah, I'm sorry, I get carried away in my own thoughts. I'm called Pearl. She's introducing herself because we've never met her before. I'm looking for something in the tower. Sorry, but I have to go. And so we can stop her or go with her. We're going to go with her. Thank you, the zone. And so now that she's part of our party, we could take her wherever we want. Before we enter the McKiv Caverns, just very quickly, let's look at what she's packing. Pearl, level 24, she has a recovery status, so status abnormalities are removed. So for example, if I get frozen and Pearl is close to me and her synchro is in effect, my status of being frozen will be removed. She doesn't have any weapons, and for armor she has a white robe and her core. This is interesting because Elazul also had a core of lapis lazuli. Pearl's core is a pearl ring, so yeah, that's pretty cool. Basically, her abilities are crouch, and she has no STs. The crouch ability helps to recover HP, so she really doesn't attack at all. She's actually defenseless, and all she could do is help you recover from status ailments and regain her HP. That's it. So what happens when we go into McKiv Caverns having never done Lost Princess with Pearl? Is an interesting question, right? So we're gonna enter McKiv Caverns. Nothing happens. You cannot do Lost Princess with Pearl, obviously, because Pearl is who you save in Lost Princess. So basically, if you wanted to skip Lost Princess, that's how you would do it. You would play until you get the Tower of Lieres, and then you'd take Pearl with you, and you could actually explore the McKiv Caverns. But yeah, starting the Looking Glass Tower skips the event for Lost Princess. So yeah, guys, if you grab Pearl, basically nothing happens. You get to skip the Lost Princess. So I figured that was just interesting to note that you can skip the Lost Princess and just play the game normally without ever having completed this quest. So thanks for watching, guys. Again, if you have any recommendations on future videos to do, let me know. I'm very interested in seeing what you guys have to say. The reception to the first video was it was alright. It didn't get as much views as I thought, but you know what? As the Mana Academy, as the only teacher here, I feel like these videos might garner more attention the more videos there are, right? And so I'm going to keep doing it. In the next video, I'm going to be showing you all everything there is to know about the McKiv Caverns post Lost Princess. So when it fully opens up and the boinks are removed, because the first time you go into the McKiv Cavern with Elazul, there are boinks blocking the way to some of the best weapon drops that you can get early on in the game. So we're going to go through the McKiv Caverns and see what the enemies are in there. We're going to fill up the encyclopedias a little bit, and we're going to see what those enemies drop in the game and what the different areas of the McKiv Caverns are. We're basically going to explore it. So yeah, hopefully you guys are looking forward to that.